Good evening. What a thrill to see all of you tonight. Tonight, May 23rd, 2021, Monday night with Kensington Place, Redwood City. I am your presenter tonight, Dr. Marsha Nelson, and I am thrilled that our Anya Jakovovich is here with us tonight. Anya, tell us what's the latest in Kensington.
Oh my gosh, look at all the people.
I know it, aren't we? Oh, we're so fortunate. I am so glad. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I hope they all come over and see you at Kensington. That's all I hope.
I know.
You have the best job in the world, helping people every day. There is no greater gift. Nice. Let me just
welcome everyone. I'm pretty sure you're in good hands. I just wanted to say hi to everybody.
Isn't this great?
My goodness, so many people joining. Hi everyone, welcome.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Marsha, let you
Kensington. A lot of happy residents at Kensington, I'm sure.
Hi Debbie, hi Linda.
Hi, good evening.
Hello,
hi.
Elva, hello.
Hi, Anya, hi.
So I think we're getting famous, aren't we?
Isn't this great?
Hello there.
Wow, our happy family, right? There we go.
And I have my parents with me here also.
Oh, lovely, Linda. I'm so fortunate. That is great.
Yeah. I'm getting feedback because I have a speaker, so I'm going to go back to mute.
Okay, honey, I'm going to mute everybody, okay? So that we all feel comfortable. There we go. And if I don't mute you, just go ahead and mute yourself, okay?
All right, enjoy,
all right,
guys. I'll be in the
background.
background.
Thank you. We'll talk later. Okay, here we go. I'm just trying to let everybody in, and there you go. Okay, well, again, good evening. I'm Dr. Marsha Nelson, and I'm your presenter tonight. And we have a really interesting topic, which is called Drawing Out Your Inner Healer. So I want to talk about that a little bit. This work, of course, comes from Dr. Lucia Capacchione. I love this book. It's one of 23 of her books, but it has been her bestseller, Recovery of Your Inner Child. Look at the little guy here in the picture. Let me out so I
Dr. Marsha?
Uh-huh.
Just one second. If anyone would like a copy of the book, send me an email. I have 3 copies.
Ooh.
I'll put in my email into the chat box. I have both copies of the workbooks.
What a generous offer. That is so generous. Thank you.
There we go. All right.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to look at the inner family here. I hope all of you can see this. What it is we've been talking about our little inner child right here. This is your emotional body. This is your creative self. This is your intuitive self. This is all the arts. Just think of a little child, how they get along in the world. And this is your inner child, the inner feelings in your body. You know, you got grown up, and some of us have lost our hair now and so on and so forth, but we still have that lovely inner child. Now, we have talked in this session about the protective parent, and this is certainly about the nurturing parent, drawing out that inner healer, okay? The person inside of you that is going to be helping you take care of yourself. Because when we are caregivers, many of us neglect that inner parent. We really have a hard time with that because we're giving all of our energy and all of our attention outward. So we're going to look and see how you can give outward, but also balance it off with giving it inward. And again, I will put up my information later in the program. And if there's anybody that would like the agenda or these flyers, I will certainly get them to you. You'll have my name and your how to email me. So let's get started. Hopefully all of you tonight have your journal. I love my journal. Today I took a class and I used my journal. Okay, so you want a nice unlined journal, you can use it either way. You can use it the portrait, okay, like you regularly use, or you can do landscape. And remember, in this workshop, there are no right or wrongs, all right? Whatever happens tonight, it's for a reason. So just accept it, all right? That will be the gift to you. So if that voice comes in, we just showed this again, and I'll show it again. There's this little voice that comes in, and it's called the inner critic. You see this lady with the finger waving, the inner critic? This is inside of us, this voice that always puts us down. It says, I'm here to keep you safe. You know, listen to me, you'll be all right. Well, the inner critic will hold you back from doing anything that's really good for you. And this isn't an outside voice. Now, it may have come early on. Don't eat this, don't do that. You know, you internalize what the adult said, but now the worst is you're doing it to yourself. So we are going to really be concentrating on that inner critic, because it will tell you, oh no, you can't be taking care of yourself. You have a job now and you need to be caretaking. So we need to really be cautious of that voice that's always there to put us down. So tonight in our Recovery of Your Inner Child book, the pages that we will be using are 128 and 129. So again, if you have the book or you're going to be getting it from Anya, 128 and 129. So caregivers often feel left out and denied their own wants and needs. Now, if you're not specifically caretaking someone right now, or you are, it's a good time to reflect on where you ever did give up your needs or where you are giving up your wants and your needs. Oh, I can't go on a vacation because I can't leave my father. Oh, I can't, you know, that voice, okay? So anyway, this session will focus upon practicing. We're practicing, all right? You got to practice first. The art of listening to your inner child. We're going to be listening to that little voice inside of us that says, I do really want to go on a trip. I really want to do that. And oh, shh, no, we can't do that. No, that's not going to happen. So we're going to learn to tap into that inner voice. So hopefully you have your markers, all right? And if not, hopefully you have a pen. And if you don't have your journal, plain piece of paper works just fine, all right? So here we go. Number 1. Now, in this work, we use both hands. This is my left hand. This is my dominant hand, the hand I normally write with. This is my non-dominant hand. It's my right hand. But most of you, it's opposite, right? Most of you have a dominant right and a non-dominant left. So whatever hand you write with, normally that's called your dominant hand. So when I say DH, dominant hand, that means your normal writing hand. The non-dominant is the other hand. And yes, we're going to write, we're going to draw, we're going to color with 2 hands, because why not? We have them, why not use them? And how about we never learned it in school, unless you broke your arm or something and you had to use your non-dominant hand. But we're going to use both hemispheres of our brain. Now, you see, the left brain, I call it the school brain. That's where the writing, the arithmetic, the reading, logic, all that's over here in the left hemisphere. But we started as babies in the right hemisphere. That was our creativity. That was our drawing, and all of our fun side was over here. Okay, music, all of that. So what I'm going to do is help you make new neuronal pathways. That's right, new neuronal pathways through your corpus callosum. We are going to connect both hemispheres of your brain. And how we do that in this work, we draw and we write with our non-dominant hand. Okay, so that will probably be your left hand. Here we go. With your non-dominant hand, allow your inner child to draw a picture of itself expressing its wants and needs currently. I'm going to repeat that. With your non-dominant hand, the hand you normally don't write with, you're going to allow your inner child that voice inside of you, to draw a picture of itself expressing its wants and needs currently, right now, okay, currently. You can use cartoon bubbles or pictures around the inner child. I want a vacation. I need a new car. Whatever it is, make bubbles, just be creative. Don't worry about your artwork. We're not here for art. We're here to express whatever your inner self, your inner child wants. Okay? So I'm going to give you 6 minutes to do that. All right? Right now, it is 11 minutes past the hour. So at 17 minutes past the hour, I want you to take a lot of time with this. And I want you to really think about this, of all the things that you really want. There is no list too long, okay? And please date your paper. Always the first page of your journaling. Today is 5/23/2022. So please write the date at the top. And the title of this is My Inner Child's Expressing Its Wants and Needs. So you could just say my wants and needs. And with your non-dominant hand, you're going to allow the inner child to draw a picture of itself. So it could be a baby, it could be a big person, it could be a stick figure, it could be a gingerbread person. That works for me because I'm not an artist. But just, or it doesn't have to be a humanoid, it could be anything. And you can write its wants and needs with a non-dominant hand, or you could write it with a dominant hand, but I really prefer you writing those with a non-dominant hand. Don't worry about spelling or handwriting. No one's going to look at it, but you will get a really greater understanding. You will get information that normally you would not be getting from the left hemisphere, okay? So I would write in your bubbles about your wants and needs, write them with a non-dominant hand. You may get some surprises. And that's what you want. You want lots of information. Okay, we have 1 more minute. And if you finish, go back and reread it. Look at the picture again, take it all in. And other information may come up about other wants and dreams. Don't make them too small. Think big. Come on, think big. Dream big. This is your chance. Please don't hesitate. Don't hesitate about anything that you would want. Any dream, put your dreams down. Okay, another 30 seconds. All right, we're going to move on to the next part. You can use another page. You can, use part of that page or however it works for you, right? Because there are no right or wrong in this program. We're going to use our non-dominant hand again, that hand you normally don't write with. And now you're going to draw your inner child who has experienced these wants and needs being comforted and assured by your inner healer. I'm going to say it again. With the non-dominant hand, you will draw your inner child again. And it now is experiencing all of those wants and needs. It's got it. It has it. And it is being comforted by your inner healer. I want you to portray this little inner child in a safe place. So when you're drawing the picture, you want to put it in a safe place, wherever that would be for you, all right? And a place that feels comfortable and protected for your inner child. So you're going to draw something somewhere that feels safe with that non-dominant hand. Your inner child is feeling really comforted. That child that really wants all those wants and needs, it is now being comforted, feeling that comfort of having those wants and needs fulfilled. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do this. So that would put you at 21 past the hour. I put the directions in the chat box using the non-dominant hand. The inner child is in a safe place being comforted by the inner healer. So that will help you, any of you that just came in late. Another 30 seconds. Make sure to use a lot of color if you have your markers, because you know inner children love color, and we don't use any certain color to specify anything in this work. So colors, whatever works, okay? Okay, I put in the chat box, after you have completed your picture with your non-dominant hand, I want you to permit your inner child to write down what it wants from your inner healer. That part of you that can heal you, your inner healer. So with the non-dominant hand, the inner child now is just going to write words. And you're going to allow that inner child to do that. It's got permission to ask for anything it needs or wants from your inner healer. Non-dominant hand. Don't worry about spelling or handwriting. And the instructions are in the box. What does it want from the inner healer? That part of you that can heal anything. Now, what I would like for you to do with this activity, you can use both hands. The dominant hand is going to ask the inner healer any questions and include them, and use your dominant hand to write for your inner healer and your non-dominant to write for your inner child. So I will put that in the box. You're going to have a conversation now, and you're going to use your dominant hand and your non-dominant hand. Your inner child has any questions, include them. Use your dominant hand to represent your inner healer. And your non-dominant hand to be your inner child. After you put down the first one, what your inner child wants from your inner healer, then you can have this dialogue. So it can be one activity or two, however it works for you. Yes, I'm going to give you an example. All right. So my dominant hand, if you, I'll put it in the chat box. Okay, so, and then the non-dominant hand, the inner child will ask for what it wants. So the dominant hand is like a parent asking a child. The parent asks for the dominant hand, the little kid asks for the non-dominant hand. What, you know, like, what do you want for dinner? And then the inner child would write, well, I want pizza for dinner. Okay, so your inner healer is like the adult self. So you are talking to the adult is asking the child, what can I do for you? So you can see in the chat box, inner child, what do you need from me? That would be the dominant hand. And then the little inner child said, we'll ask for what it wants. If that doesn't make sense, please put it in the chat box. I'm happy to answer that. It's a great question. It's like going to Santa Claus and asking for everything you want and getting it. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do this. It'll be 1/2 the hour. I put in the chat box, the inner child may have more questions for the inner healer, and allow the questions to be asked and answered. So maybe you've got a bad foot and your inner child says, why is my foot not healing? And the inner healer will answer you. Okay. So whatever is coming up, feel free to ask questions. Your inner child wants to know, and you have the power to give the answers from inside. Okay, about 30 more seconds. And please go back and reread whatever you've written. Take it in. Allow the left brain to really soak it up, because this is coming from you, a part of you that normally isn't accessed. It's called the right hemisphere of the brain. Okay, the next part, what we're going to do is we're going to show our inner healer and our inner child in this very safe place now, and with the understanding that that inner healer is a part of us, and that we have the power to heal ourselves by asking the inner healer, what can you do for me? This is what I need. What can you do for me? So I want you to draw a picture with your non-dominant hand now of your inner child with its inner healer together. The inner child with its own inner healer in a very safe, nurturing place, that the two, the healer and the child, can be helped. The child can be helped by the inner healer. So put them in both a safe place. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do that. There was a question about, we thought we did it before. No, not before. The inner healer was not with the inner child. This is going to be after you've done all of this. There may be some changes. Maybe it's a different place. It's a new place, or maybe the same. We don't know. With the non-dominant hand, show it being healed in the safe place. Another minute. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to be writing a letter, the inner healer. So with your dominant hand, I would get a clean piece of paper or another page in your journal. And with your dominant hand will be represented by that inner healer. And that inner healer is going to write to the inner child, telling it how it is loved and how it can get help whenever it asks for it. So it will start off, dear inner child, or dear sweet Dorothy, or however you want to start your letter. But this is a real letter that you are writing from your inner healer. That part of you that has your concerns, all your concerns about filling your wants and needs, your inner healer. So, dear inner child, and then you would go on to write about how much it cares about you, or maybe it hasn't cared about you in the past and you felt neglected and ignored. The inner child may have to apologize and say, you know, I haven't been here for you. I've let you give everything away. You've helped everybody. And now you feel sick and burdened. It might have to apologize. So let it apologize. So a dominant hand, the inner healer, is writing to the sweet inner child, your inner child, telling it how it loves or how it needs to love you more. Let's see what comes out. And when you finish the letter, give a loving finish, like loving you always, or what have you, your inner healer. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. But it's a letter, that inner healer part of yourself, we all have it. Telling and reassuring that child, I'm here for you. Now, I know things are hard right now, but we're going to turn things around, and this is how we're going to do it. The inner healer is going to tell you. I'm going to give you 4 minutes to do this activity. Give you another minute to wrap this part up. Okay, some of you may not be finished with your letter, and that's okay. You can always go back to it. But I'm going to open it up right now for anybody that would like to share any discoveries, any aha moments, or didn't understand something. I'm going to open it up. So just put up your hand and I will be happy. The hands are at the bottom. It says raised hand. Then when you finish, please take your hand down. The other thing that I'm going to say is I put my contact information in here. If anybody wants the agenda for tonight or handouts or what have you, or just wants to leave me a comment, and I will put you on my mailing list as well so that you hear about Kensington and all the wonderful things that are going on. So with that being said, would anyone like to share their experience tonight? You can read what you did. You don't have to. No one needs to share. There's two rules here. One, you don't need to share. And the second rule is if you share, let's just leave it here with the class. And so we can feel safe. Okay. Someone wanting to share? Linda, Polk.
Hi, Marsha.
Good evening.
Well, the latter part here, I saw my inner or my child inside of a nice home with family and friends, and that was how I was being taken care of. But when I brought my inner healer in with me, getting a little vibration there, aren't we? When I brought my inner healer in with me, it was part of a great big heart. And I was within a great big heart with my inner healer. So I could see that that would be the ultimate, being inside of the house, being with family and friends, is being within the heart with my inner healer.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel, Linda?
Well, it made me feel more secure, more protected, more whole in myself as I'm participating with other people. I know I have that inner healer to be there for me and protect me and stand up for me. So it felt very strengthening.
Good. Oh, thanks for sharing tonight, Linda. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure everyone else does. It's always good when we hear people share because, you know, sometimes we wonder, oh, are we on the right path? Are we doing it right? And when people share, that really helps for us to have some better understanding. So thank you so much. Is there anybody else would like to share? Yes, please, Nancy. If you'll unmute, please. There you go.
I'm unmuted.
Hi.
Hi, Marsha.
Good to hear from you.
Yes, dearest little Nancy, you are so loved by the inner healer. I love how hard you have been taking care of us by telling us what you need and all your feelings about how sad you feel about Frenchie not knowing where she is. My cat's. She's someplace else. All of your wants and needs are important to me, your inner healer. I am so grateful for a chance to be healing with Marsha Nelson for all these many years. We have been doing the healing journey with the non-dominant handwriting.
Beautiful, beautiful.
How long has it been?
Oh, years, right? Right. Oh my God.
When did you start doing this? Like,
I think we started about 3 years ago, Nancy.
okay.
More, yeah. So wow. Yeah, and a lot of you have been at just about every one of these classes. Can you imagine how you've grown? I mean, we're making new neuronal pathways in our brain. So the way you thought 3 years ago and the way you think today cannot be the same, because using the non-dominant hand, you're developing new pathways. So it's like a new fresh road is in your brain. So the more you do this, the more results and the stronger your brain is going to be and healthier. And when you hear that inner healer say, hey, that's enough, back off, and you cannot go back to work tomorrow. You are exhausted. You must listen to that inner healer. But you may have never even known you had that subpersonality voice in your head. You may have never known it. But through this work, you've learned it. That you have the ability now to tune into yourself. I never knew, until in 1992, when she first wrote this book and was out on tour, and I met her and I read this book, my life literally changed. I did so much crying. I went to Italy doing workshops with Dr. Capacchione. And I remember crying and crying because my little inner child just felt really beat up and unheard and neglected, because I didn't have the wherewithal to take care of it. I didn't know. My mother was a registered nurse. I saw her giving. And then she would tell me she goes, oh, that's selfish. If I take care of myself, I'm selfish. I just figured, okay, well, I'm not doing it right. Until this book really said, hey, you are important and you do need to take care of yourself. And I had to listen to that. Elva, please.
Okay, my desire, my need as my inner child is to be alone, the opposite of what Linda needed, because I'm surrounded by family all the time. Oh. And today I had about 3 hours alone. And I drew a picture of me looking out my office window in front of my desk and just being at peace. And the song, I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. That song came to my mind. And then because I need time, undistracted, uninterrupted. I need peace. I need to concentrate so that I can be creative and productive. There are times when I need to be with others, but I just want balance. Yeah. And so on the second picture, with my inner healer, we were both, I drew a big book and we were both inside the book on opposite pages, and I used both hands to draw, like the mirror drawing. We were holding hands and just happy and singing with hearts and light in our book, because that's where my creativity has been lately, in writing. And I'm just wanting to finish some projects. So I'm really happy to have that balance, and that my inner healer is with me.
Well, and Elva, just for you showing up tonight, doesn't that say it too? That you are really listening to your inner healer?
Yes.
You're paying attention to Elva tonight, and that is the most important thing. and you're not, you have locked yourself out. This is your moment, your minutes. So congratulations. A lot of us need that. When we are giving and giving and giving, we just really need a time to just go in that cave or into that book and just be us. I was really happy today. I had one class this morning and this one this evening, and my husband and I spent a beautiful weekend in St. Augustine, Florida, at a fabulous wedding, friend's wedding. But we were tired today, and thank God I had that space left in my day that I could have for me. So that's my inner healer really kicked in. So thank you, Elva.
Thank you, Marsha.
Yes, here is, well, it says Dorothy, Tony. So this must be, is this Linda? Is this your mom?
It's on my phone, but actually my dad wants to share.
Oh, lovely. Good. Okay, let's hear from Oklahoma.
So I'm just going to set the phone here and let Walt talk.
Good.
It says, "Dear inner healer, I want to act with an attitude of no resentment. I acquired this attitude when I was treated disrespectful and not important by an administration where I live and my family. I worked hard for their approval and believed my philosophy was correct. It is correct, but not accepted by some who I worked harder to impress. So, back off. I'm entitled to boundaries also."
Exactly. Beautiful. Yay. You know what? Whatever anybody else thinks about us, that's their own opinion. We do not ever have to cater to anybody else's thoughts about us. That's how they are constructed, how they perceive. And that happens so many times. We try to please others and we've neglected ourselves. And so our inner healer needs to come in and say, no. Turn all that around and let's give it to ourselves. Thank you for sharing tonight. That was beautiful. Thank you. Oh, Catherine. Catherine.
Hi, Marsha.
How are you this evening?
Fine, thank you. I told the inner healer I missed somebody, that this man that I have romantic feelings for that I'm probably not going to hear from, and I'm missing him. And I felt really comfortable telling my inner healer that. I felt like the inner healer really cared, and it felt like something really connected. And she wrote back, "We'll have to take extra special care of ourselves now that he's absent." And in the letter she wrote, "I'm sorry I've let a gap develop between us so that you felt so alone when you left Alan. We're going to turn things around. You can ask me anything and always come to me with your wants and needs. I'll help you with your kidneys and we'll get them better. You are so precious to me. I'm so glad we got back together tonight. I'll help you budget your time so you can have more time to yourself. And I know you're worried about the novel. You already gave your all to it. I know. I'll help make it manageable. I'll always love you and be here when you call."
Catherine, that is absolutely beautiful. I was very touched by that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. And I love, because a lot of times there needs to be an apology. Sometimes our inner healer just wasn't there for us.
I know.
And we have, these are all sub-personalities that we have inside of us. We're all multiples, remember? It doesn't mean a multiple with dysfunction, a multiple that we are made up with all these different parts. The part that you go into the courtroom won't be the part that you have in the bedroom. You have different ways you act in certain situations, correct?
Yeah.
When you go out to a bar, it's not like when you go to church. All right. So anyway, we know we have these subpersonalities, and one of them is that inner healer, and it can heal us. but we've got to ask for what we want. And that inner child, and if you are a caregiver and you're giving and giving, and I know someone I work with is having an issue because the grandmother, this lady is very accomplished, and she's given up her time to come back to the hometown to take care of the grandmother, and the grandmother's been really ugly with her. And you know how it just hurts your self-esteem. And she's have to work really hard with me now to get her self-esteem back up after her grandmother told her some really ugly things. And her grandmother is not in her right mind, but still you hear those things and you love that person.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, sometimes we need to really step back and look what we're doing to ourselves. So thank you, Catherine. That was beautiful. Henry, you have your hand up.
Hi there. Hi, Marsha.
Hi.
Good to see you again. Just want to share something. The book, Recovery of Your Inner Child, I read through and I've done lots of exercises there. It did me lots of good. And today's exercise revealed to me something very interesting, that I've started neglecting my inner child again. So it's like reminding me, go back and continue the relationship. And well, thank you for today's session. That was a real opener for me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you. Exactly. We just got to stop sometimes and take a look. And if we are parents or caretakers of any type, we give a lot and we got to back off, because guess what? We only have certain amounts of days in our life. And if we give them all to somebody else and we neglect ourselves, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? If we give up our lives, it's our fault. And you don't want to live with regret. You don't want to do it. So stop yourself. And if you're a caregiver and you need help, maybe you go to the state and say, I need help. Or you go to your neighbor and say, can you watch my mother for 2 hours? I'm going to go to a movie. You know, treat yourself to something, ask somebody. And that is the most important thing you can do to keep your health. So I am so grateful to all of you. Kensington has been a blessing to help so many people so that you understand the importance of caregiving and, number one, taking care of yourself. So next week, we're going to have our class on setting boundaries and limits to make time for you. So we've really talked about our inner healer, but now how do we do that? How do we set those boundaries? We've talked about them, about how we can do, but we're going to really, really delve into setting boundaries and limits to make time for you. So you as a caregiver, there's hope on the horizon. Show up next Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And I am your presenter, Dr. Marsha Nelson, and I will be here to help you set your limits and boundaries. Thank you all. I'm going to stay on if anybody has any comments or anything. Again, if you look in the chat box, you are going to find my contact information, and you are more than welcome to contact me. I do take private clients, and if you have some issues you want to work on, you know, I am open to that and open to working with you privately. So however that works, please know that their help is out there. This is Mental Health Month, and you must applaud yourself for taking care of your mental health. Good night.
Hi, Marsha. This is Tatiana.
Oh, how are you, Tatiana?
I'm fine, thank you. I am missing you a lot.
I know I was in your state for 3 days, but a little far. So.
Yeah, you were in my favorite spot in Florida.
Isn't that great? Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? Wow.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Marsha, I looked for the page that you told
Yeah, I
me.
adapted. I know Lori said that too, and I adapted it, page 128 and 129. I put my own spin on it, so.
But I couldn't find it.
Yeah. But I put my own adaptation to it, you know, it's based in that, but my own creativity, so.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I will send you again an email because I haven't received the agendas for the other sessions.
Oh yeah, please do, and I'll attach them, the ones you want. If you send me that, I'll attach those to your email. So anybody else on there, if you want these agendas.
Okay, great.
I was a school teacher one time, so I always make agendas.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody wants some, just like Anya has books, I have agendas, so there you go.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Marsha.
Hi, how are you? How are you?
Good. Thank you.